Hello, everybody. Welcome to the big show. My name is Mickey, and this is Mickey in the Middle, the quintessential show for middle Americans, where all middle Americans are welcome. It doesn't matter where you've been, doesn't matter where you're going, it just matters that you're here right now, embracing your middleness and understanding that the power of the people shall not be infringed. We don't listen to the 20% of the crazies on the left or the 20% of the crazies on the right. We just listen to common sense and decency. We just want the America that I know and love and that you know and love to just be harmonious and peaceful, and everybody gets along and everybody does well and everybody has an opportunity to do all of the things that our country promises. It doesn't matter whether you're the lowliest of the low or the highest of the high. That's kind of like what my message is here on this show. So without further ado, let's get to the Mickey in the Middle Comment Olympics. And tonight, congratulations to Carolyn Greggs Ledger once again on top with the gold medal. Carolyn, gold medal, Greggs Ledger. And then silver medal, Susie is back in the silver medal spot right there. So congratulations, Susie. I know that's probably where you're most comfortable. I know you try to win gold, but I'm telling you right now, I think that with a name like Susie, silver medal Susie is the way that we need to go, and that's where we're going to go. And then Katie Kitchens, holy smokes, Katie, congratulations, you are on the bronze medal position, so that would be Katie bronze medal Kitchens. Hey, and Nicole is not here. Hey, Kim Berry. Kim, I'm sorry to tell you that all the way down, I think you're still in Louisiana, all the way down there in Louisiana, you came in with an honorable mention down in fourth place. So that is awesome. Oh, so close. So close. All right. So I want to talk to you about something that's going on in the country. It's one of those things. Oh, Kim is in Texas. Well, all right. There you go. It's good to know that you're in Texas. I hope you're going to go roller skating. We're having a class reunion roller skate later this month, I think, down at Hot Wheels Skating Emporium down in Bossier City, Louisiana. I'm going to try to make that. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to. I got a lot of stuff going on, but it is on my schedule, so that if my schedule works out right, I will be able to get down to Hot Wheels Skating Rink down in Bossier City, Louisiana later this month. So hopefully I can see you there. Kim said, I can't afford to break a hip. Okay, so I can't afford to break a hip, so I'm going to wear a helmet, wrist guards. And this is a true story. So when I got in the United States Air Force Base, or when I got in the United States Air Force, I went to Shepherd Air Force Base, Texas, in order to go to technical training. While I was there, I was an avid roller skater, and I could do all the tricks. I could do the spins, and I could do the backwards, and I could do everything. Well, anyway, the owner of the skating rink right outside of Shepherd Air Force Base went, dude, you're pretty good on roller skates. Would you like to make some extra money? I have these costumes. I have two costumes, a bear and a lion or tiger. I don't know what the other one. So anyway, I said I would love to. So I put on Blue Bear, and I used to skate for money by being Blue Bear, the cartoon character. I don't know what Blue Bear is. I was just Blue Bear. And I did that for about a month. And then one day, a kid who was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old did a hook slide behind me while I was skating backwards. And I fell back on my hands and I broke my right wrist. So the first year I was in the United States Air Force, I went to my first duty station with a broken wrist because of roller skating. So I understand. I haven't skated since junior high school. And I nearly killed myself on ice skates about 6 months ago. Took my daughter ice skating and nearly killed myself. I was like, watch your dad go. Woo! Bam! It took all of 3 seconds for me to hit the ground. So, all right. So on to the night subject. Tonight we're talking a guy named Matt Walsh. I don't know what Matt Walsh does. I know that he's a reporter of some kind. He is he's a public figure. He's got all the social media accounts, but I don't know where he came from. I don't know whether he's an academic. I don't know. Anyway, he made a movie called What Is a Woman? Now, prior to making the movie What Is a Woman, you can go on YouTube and you can see what he did prior to making the movie What Is a Woman. he was espousing conservative values, and he would go to college campuses or he would go on lecture tours and he would talk to people about conservative values. And then the whole fluff up in the United States of America about trans rights and about transgender activists and LGBTQIA plus being included in our society kind of bubbled up to the surface. And there's been, up until this point, up until about 3-4 months ago, there wasn't a lot of pushback on that. And then Governor Ron DeSantis down in Florida said, hey, look here, man, we got to be careful what we're teaching our kids in school. And we're not going to be teaching them about gender ideology. We're just going to teach them, if you're in kindergarten through third grade, we're just not going to talk about sex, any sex. We're not going to talk about straight sex, gay sex, trans sex, or anything else. We're just going to talk to them like sex doesn't even exist. And then there was a kerfluffle, and Disney came out and said that the state of Florida was transphobic and they hated gay people. And as a result of that, we've had this huge explosion of sex. We've had an explosion of the conversation about sex and gender in the United States of America, because everybody got to load up on a side. If you got to pick your lane, and then you're going to go. And some people are going to be more conservative. Some people are going to be more liberal. Who's right? I don't know. All I know is, like I said last night, let's keep it away from the kids. And then as individuals, you can do whatever you want to as an individual. I believe that that is true. I'm going to give you 2 examples. I've got 2 friends of mine that happen to be trans. One is older and lives out on the West Coast. One is younger and lives not in the United States. I don't know where Gabby's living now. So anyway, she's with her mom, and they have a great family. And I met them through my travels throughout the world. And I knew mom and dad. And then one day I got invited to a barbecue and I got introduced to the kids. And shortly after that, dad came up to me and said, hey, you might have noticed something that was different about my daughter. And I went, no, I didn't notice anything that was different about your daughter. She says, well, Gabriella was Gabe. And Gabe is in a transition. And so we let Gabriella dress the way that she wants to. And, mom's a psychologist and we're in counseling and going to do, and so so anyway, I just wanted you to know that if you heard anything, or if somebody said something, or you noticed something that may not add up, that's our situation. And I was like, okay, that's your family situation. It's not my family situation. I'm cool over here. I'm good with you, sir. And then mom grabbed me, and mom had the exact same conversation with me. And I was like, I greatly appreciate you telling me this, but I really had a hard time understanding why they felt the need to explain to me, who was a couple of months previously a total stranger. And that's when I first started thinking about how I'm different than most people. I really am different than most people from my observations. These are my observations because I was thinking that it was none of my business. And mom and dad are in that situation, and they have their family unit and they have their children, and that's in their family unit and that's in with their children. I don't know how different religions look upon things, because I personally believe in the Constitution of the United States of America that says that the government's not going to institute a religion, and it's not going to stop the exercise or freedom of any religion that happens to take place. And I transfer that to people. I'm like, hey, I don't have the right as an American to have anybody mess with me. I have the right in America to not have anybody mess with me. They can't mess with my free speech. They can't mess with my religion. They can't mess with my freedom of the press. The fact that I don't have to have unreasonable search and seizure, that I get to hang out with anybody that I want to hang out with. So I am totally different with that. I'm like, hey, leave me out of it because it's none my business. Now you're like, hey, Mickey, you got a lot of opinions because you got a show about opinions. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why I do this show is because I'm trying to get everybody to understand that as middle Americans, we have to be considerate of other people's attitudes, opinions, families, religion, freedom of expression, freedom of thought, freedom to not be harassed, all of this. Because if it applies to me and I want to be free, then I have to say that it applies to everyone and I cannot be oppressive, tyrannical, or any type of an oppressive body inside of that structure. And that I have to use language and I have to use thoughts and I have to use my words in order to do two things. Number one, promote individual freedom inside of the United States. And number two, protect the United States against those that would take those freedoms away. And that is kind of where I'm sitting on this whole LGBTQIA plus. I try to be as respectful as possible. But I do want the children to be out of it. I want that to be left up to families. I want that to be left up to families and their churches and families and their attitude, families and what their history is and families and what their culture is. But at the same time, I don't want any undue influence coming into my family. I want to be able to handle my family with my religious beliefs, with my morals, with my upbringing, with my everything that encapsulates who I am. And I'm a totally different dude now than I was when I was roller skating down outside of Shepherd Air Force Base, Texas, in a Blue Bear costume, because I've learned so much in the 40 years since then. Yeah, I'm almost 60. But I've learned so much. And it's not as black and white as people would say, well, transgenderism is wrong. No, it's wrong to you. Well, transgenderism's not in the Bible. Well, that's your Bible, but we have freedom of religion in the United States of America. Culturally, that's unacceptable. Well, we got a lot of blended cultures here in the United States of America. We used to be a melting pot, but now they say we're like a salad. You got some tomatoes and some onions and some leafy greens and some croutons. So here's what people have said. Dude, if you have girl parts going, okay, I'm going to get to that in just a second. You are a girl. If you have a boy part, you're a boy. I love people who don't care, but quit shouting me stuff down my throat. Amen. I do not care. My poor grandson saw a trans person at the grocery and had to ask my daughter's mother, is that a boy or a girl? Is that pretty or crazy for an 11-year-old? That's very, very crazy. Have an 11-year-old ask that conversation. I will say this over and over again. If you make your horses, you can't make yourself look different. Everyone, honestly. Okay, so Kim Berry is getting to the point that I am trying to get to. Thank you very much, Kim. I greatly appreciate this. See, we have hard stops in biology. We have very, very hard stops in biology. The reason that I know that we have hard stops in biology is because we have men and we have women. We have the XY chromosome and we have the XX chromosome. If somebody asks me what a man is, I will say, yes, a man is somebody that has XY chromosomes, has testicles, has the capability to produce sperm or not produce sperm, but it's primarily the XX chromosome. And I can definitely say biologically, and everybody agrees with this, even left and right and left, they all agree that biologically a man is a man is a man. Everybody goes, well, there's a difference between biological sex and gender. So the other hard stop in biology is a woman, male and female, man, woman. Those are That's that's the definition of time. Biology might say one thing, but the terminology is man on one side, woman on the other side, male on one side, female on the other side. Those are the hard stops. Do you want to know why those are the hard stops? Because there's nothing beyond that. See, there's nothing beyond the hard stop female, the hard stop male. There's not male plus, there's not male extra, there's not male and a little bit, there's not female plus, there's not female and, there's not female plus more. Those are the hard stops for biology and the terminology that we've used for millions and millions and millions of years. Now, here's the simple fact of the matter is, for everybody that is more conservative, the fact is that there are people on both sides of that scale and inside of dressing and attitude and what they do and how they do it. How are we supposed to tell people how to live their life? I use a great example of somebody putting me in booty shorts and leather studded, what do you call those things that pulled up your pants? Right? And the simple fact of the matter is that if I put on makeup and I put on high heels and I put on a dress, it doesn't change the fact that I'm hard stopped left or I'm hard stopped man or I'm hard stopped woman. Both of those hard stopped people can put on makeup and put on high heels and can put on booty shorts and go out in public. And that's what we're facing. We're conflating two different issues. Now, Matt Walsh started talking about this. I was like, hey, I'm going to go watch this movie. I'm going to go find out what it's all about. And then I found out that you needed to get a subscription to the Daily Wire. And I was like, I don't want to have a subscription to the Daily Wire. I don't have one now. Why do I need a subscription to the Daily Wire? I just want to watch the movie. It's like, to me, it's any other documentary movie that I would watch. It doesn't matter whether it was Uncle Tom or whether 2,000 Mules or whether it was any other movie that I would watch online, whether it was Captain America or Huckleberry Finn or anything else. And I was like, I'm not going to watch the movie. I'm pretty sure I know what a woman is. It's the XX chromosome and the ability to have a baby. They have a vagina, they have a womb, they have, a uterus. And the simple fact of the matter is those two hard stops are undeniable, the framework in which we have to start the conversation. And I have found that there's a particular group of people that don't want to address the hard stops. Because the simple fact is that we do have the hard stops. Because when somebody transitions from one side of the plane, I got a great analogy. If you have a field and we're going to go play a game and you line up all of the males on one side and all of the females on the other side, and you threw all of the uniforms in the middle of the field and you said, hey, you can go dress like any player on the field that you want. And people go out and they just go, all right, well, I'm a male, so I'm going to pick up this. And somebody else puts on another uniform. And then somebody from the other side goes, well, I would like to dress up like the male team. It doesn't change the fact that they're starting on a hard stop of female. And that's kind of like what it's like. So if you take the entire playing field and you lay it out there and you go, hey, look here, we know that you are on this team. This is the way you were biologically born, XXXY. You cannot change that. You're on the team that you have been assigned. Now everybody goes, hey, well, wait a minute. What about that small sliver in the middle of the hermaphrodites that have the undefined characteristics? XXXY, XXXY, X. That's right. If you want to talk to those people are not the people that we're talking about in the conversation. Those are not the people we're talking about. Those are exceptions to the team. Those are the exceptions to the team, and they're so unbelievably rare that that's not what we're talking about. And nobody can use that as an excuse to batter the other side. Because the simple fact of the matter is that I don't know how to classify that biologically, but I do know how to classify everybody else that's playing the game. And that's what I'm talking about here. So I did not get a subscription to the Daily Wire. I do not do that. I did not watch the movie. But I thought that I needed to address this because it's a very, very common topic. And the situation is that anybody that wants to push an agenda on you and force it down your throat, like I talked about last night with the Tampa Bay Ray players, the 5 players that refused to wear the LGBTQIA plus rainbow flag on their uniform, you're asking them to put on the uniform of a team that they don't believe in. They know the team that they're on religiously, ethically, morally. I don't know why they feel that way, but they have a perfect right in the United States of America to feel that way. And I made the analogy last night, about I'm a Christian cake maker. Well, I would like you to make a Muslim cake for me. It's not what I do. Yeah, but I'm going to force you to do it. And the forced acceptance is what I'm asking people to stop asking other people to do. Because the simple fact of the matter is, the way that I view it, if everybody's entitled to liberty and freedom, then let them get the information that they need. Stop pushing it on them. It's like people that say the F word. I don't let my kid around people that say the F word all the time. It doesn't matter what religion they are. It doesn't matter how they dress. It doesn't matter how loud they were. I just didn't allow my daughter to go around people that use the F word all the time. I don't let my daughter hang out with criminals. I didn't let my daughter hang out with bad influences or get bad information. But my daughter did come up to me one day and did say, "Hey, Dad, I want to go hang out with this different religious sect. Can I do that?" And I said, "Are they good people? Is it the same Jesus?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, they don't do it the same way that we do it. Go ahead. I want you to have as many ideas as you can possibly." And she just said, "Hey, Dad, I want to go hang out in a Buddhist temple for a while." And I said, "All right, is it safe? There you go. It's not the same way that we do it, but go ahead and hang out and learn that philosophy." It's simple. There are 2 teams. There are 2 definitions. Crazy thing is somebody says, "I identify as blank." What does that mean? I identify as that. No, there's I don't know what that means. Oh, they identify as something that is not them by definition. But they can take on all of the characteristics of whatever they identify as, but that does not mean that they are. I don't know what it means when somebody says, "I identify as." Because you can only be you. And I would like to make that perfectly clear. Inside of the hard stops of the XX and the XY, there are all of us. You are you. You cannot be me. You cannot identify as Mickey Spillane. You cannot identify as me. And if you're trying to say that you can identify as anything that you want to be, that is disingenuous because you cannot identify as me and I cannot identify as you. I cannot identify as another human being. I cannot identify with anything that is other than me. I am me. And that's why I have a problem with the term I identify as or they identify as, because that is not true. Because no matter how somebody dresses, no matter how many tattoos they put on, no matter how big their feet are, no matter whether they have hair, don't have hair, green eyes, blue eyes, red, yellow eyes, it doesn't matter what they do to their body. They are only them. And I think it's really, really a shame through our entire culture that people can't be happy being the people that they are. Because as far as I'm concerned, you can worship any way you want. You can dress any way you want. You can love anybody you want. You can have sex with anybody you want. You can go get tattoos all you want. You can put on all the makeup you want. You can go and transition to anybody you want. You're still you. And you are okay. And that's the message here. This is my message to everyone, that you are on this earth and you are on this planet and you're okay. Don't let anybody else put you down. You're okay, but you got to be okay with you first. And I'm not saying don't change your dress and don't change your appearance and don't change. You can change where you work. You can change all of those things. But how about if you identify as you first? By the way, you can change your name. You can change your name. You can change your address. You can do a lot of things to change. But you're still you. And that's okay to be you. And if you run across somebody like me and you're not an asshole, then I will love you. And I will accept you the way that you are. I've got a history of 60 years of accepting people exactly as they are. And it doesn't matter whether they're rich, whether they're poor. It doesn't matter whether they lean left or whether they lean right. It doesn't matter what their political affiliation is. It doesn't matter where they're from. Anywhere on the globe. It doesn't matter what their age is. It doesn't matter what their weight is, what their height is, what their eye color is. I accept them for them being them, and I ask them to not be an asshole. Because if you're an asshole, I can't hang out with you. Because that's where I draw the hard line. So this whole message is, I'm asking people to be comfortable with themselves, understand that they are okay with being who they are, and they can have any characteristics that they want to, but we do have hard stops in the world, and that they are okay being who they are. They don't have to identify as anything else. All righty, gonna go to some comments. uh there you go. Hey, Sherry Clark, how you doing? Let's see. This is from Kim Berry. If you make yourself look different, you will be looked at differently. There you go. God made Adam and Eve. That's a good comment. That is true. God did not make Adam and Steve. God made Adam and Eve. And that's one of the things. So I purposely tried to keep I'm purposely trying to keep religion out of this argument or debate. If somebody wants to use biology, it's straight up XXXY. Let's not talk about the people in the middle. Let's talk about the XX and XY. A lot of people, with their religious beliefs, do believe man and woman, Adam and Eve, and then they believe that that was the start, the Genesis. That was the way it started all. Then we had a great flood, and then all of a sudden we had Noah and his descendants or family or somebody. I don't know. I'm not really good with the Bible stuff, but all of a sudden, that's where the tribes from the world came around, and that's how we got distributed. And we couldn't do that without the man and woman relationship. And that is a story for a different day. But the simple fact of the matter is, whenever anybody starts talking about this subject, all of a sudden they want to force the ideas and concepts of identification onto people that just believe that you have to be true to you and you have to believe in yourself, and that men and women make families, or male and females make families, and those families need to be nuclear and they need to be able to raise their children the way that they see fit in order to make the world a better place. Oh, there you go. This is a great Kim says, I truly don't care. Just leave the children alone. There you go. Suspenders. Oh my gosh. See me in booty shorts and black suspenders and studs on them. There you go. Did you? So I did watch 2000 Mules. Kim asked if I watched 2000 Mules. I did. I thought it was one of the most interesting movies that I've ever thought. I thought that is exactly what I knew. Matter of fact, I got thrown off of YouTube and Facebook for saying that I believe that was true. Kindergarten Cop, there you go. Replying to Nicole Festerman, true. Doesn't that infringe on those players' rights? Yes. So, all right. So here's the funny thing is about the field analogy. The field analogy is there's two groups of people, male and female, and they can dress however they want to dress. They can get tattoos, they can put on makeup, they can say whatever they want, they can think whatever they want. They can, if they want to say I'm a daisy, they can say whatever they want. They can think whatever they want. It does not make it true. You still have a field of player, and the game is being played, and you can play as whatever team member you want to be. You know, it doesn't change the fact of what team you're on. That's what I'm saying. The teams have been divided. When you were born, when you came into this world, you have immutable characteristics of the XX or the XY, and you can't change the team that you're on, no matter what uniform you put on. So be respectful, let everyone be free. Thank you, Kim, for that. Be respectful and let everyone be free. That is awesome. Richard says, hey, Mickey, you tell him. That's good. You are a good dad. Oh, I try to be a good dad. That's why I don't babysit, because I would be the one to let the Katie. This is why I don't babysit, because I'd be the one to let the F word slip out accidentally, of course. But I can respect how others want their kids to not be subjected to that. And I just want to let you know, when I was younger, I used the F word a lot, and my daughter. This is so funny. I used the D word, the S word, and the F word a lot when Sydney was growing up. One day she walked down the hallway with me and she had something in her hand. She goes, Dad, can you help me fix this damn thing? I was like, baby, you're saying it wrong. Because my mom taught me that one day my daughter was going to come up and use the word damn. And she said, what your response should be is, hey, you are saying that wrong. You were supposed to say, can you help me fix this darn thing? And I looked at Sydney and I went, Sydney, you're saying that wrong. It's Dad. Can you help me fix this darn thing? And she looked at me. She goes, no, Dad. Mom says, darn, you say damn. And I was like, oh my God, my kid's too smart. Oh my gosh. Satan can identify as an angel. Kim Barrett, Satan can identify as an angel. You are so correct right there. That is, and that is all right. I gotta decipher that really, really quick. I gotta decipher that. The serpent in the tree, right? The serpent in the Garden of Eden. he said things and he convinced people of a lot of things. The thing is that you have to be able to steel yourself and steel your children and steel your family, your group of friends, your people in your community to not be fooled by the evil that can be demonstrated inside of this world. Whether that is the trick of communism, whether it's the trick of socialism, whether it's any other malades that you don't believe to be true. That's why churches are important. That's why civic organizations are important. That's why the Constitution is important. We have a whole bunch of documents that are out there in the world that help us navigate the moral questions of the day. That's why we have unbelievably great philosophers. That's why we have unbelievable people like Thomas Sowell always talking about reason and the ability of having reason in our thoughts and our discussion. So, yes, each individual has to guard themselves about what they believe is to be evil, but we cannot. Well, the one thing that we cannot do is we cannot silence them outside of the, you know, we can prove that they're wrong. Let's put it that way. Nicole says it's called freedom. Freedom. It's called freedom to be you. However, genetics is not a perception of their chromosomes. That's right. You can't. You're on a team. When you pop out, you're on a team. And I'm going to tell you, no matter what you do while you're on that team, it's okay with me. I'm cool like that. Replying, who is they? All right, so this is it. I got to go. Well, some people may be able to have sex with whom they want, but some of us can't. Just saying. LOL. That is true. Yeah, there's a. Yeah, I'm gonna avoid that question. That is funny though. That is true. And then, all right, I didn't get to the comments fast enough. So, Katie says, replying to Kim Berry, when I worked at the university, I had pronouns listed because it was highly suggested and I was an ally. Safe space for students to come in for whatever reason. He, she, her, meaning I'm a heterosexual. Well, and so Katie, this is to you and to everybody else that's an ally. Good for you. I want you to support every single person that is on the planet if they are if they're living their best life. The only thing that I'm saying here is there are two teams and anybody can do whatever they want in the world. If somebody would like me to call them by a particular name or a particular pronoun, that's great. But what I don't want is I don't want to be forced to do it. I don't want to have anything that I say criminalized because I have freedom of speech, and that's what the danger is here is if somebody is forcing you into a situation because they're different or they believe in a different thing. It doesn't matter whether it's religious. It doesn't matter whether it's morality. It doesn't matter whether it's a pronoun. It doesn't matter whether it's you think that the NBA is better than the ABA or that women's soccer is better than men's soccer. I don't want them forcing you to say that you like Alabama football. I mean, that's wrong. Could you imagine somebody coming up and putting Alabama on your shirts and saying, oh, you got to wear the Alabama football. Go Tide. No, the Tide. That's all I got to say. I got to go. Without further ado, remember, hit like, share, hit the notification bell. Remember, Mickey in the Middle, 9 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday, right here, wherever I am, right there, wherever you are. Thank you very much for tuning in. Your comments make the show unbelievably great every single time. Just want to let you know, I really do appreciate everything. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I enjoy talking. So I will see you next time. And without further ado, good night, small one. I love you. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Sydney. Sydney Allison Spillane's birthday is tomorrow. She's going to be 24 years old. Woo! You go, girl. Happy birthday, Sydney. Love you. Good night, small one. Love you.